I broke down a couple days ago and decided to get an ultrasonic cleaner for my record albums. Been trying to decide what to get. You have some that are going for over $1,000, which struck me as insane. Others that you have to put all the parts together in order to get a complete unit, which also seemed insane. And this, for just a little more than doing it yourself, seemed to be the way to go. This is an iSonic Ultrasonic record cleaner. The model is P4875II or 2 plus MVR10. This is the model that has a heater. It's got the control panel on the side instead of the top, and seems to be a very nicely put together unit. The box arrived today, and I was very impressed. The box seems very solid and well kept, well packed, and you'll see in a moment what was in there, but absolutely no damage, no sign of denting or anything like that. In the box, we found two other boxes, which had the holders for the 10 records and the spacers. On the left there, you can see the drain hose that connects to the drain, which is that black thing sticking out of the gray on the left-hand side of the unit. The unit came with a bottle of surfactant in the middle. Under that is the manual, the assembly manual, instruction manual, and there is a box of wipes to the left of the surfactant. All very nicely packaged, and this thing was safe the way it was packed. There is also a plastic top to cover the unit with when you're not using it, if you want to leave the fluid in and not have it dry up on you. The manual, frankly, I think it could have been a little clearer as far as the assembly goes, but it was not bad. Just had to stop and think for a couple minutes. But otherwise, it's very well written, to the point, and gets the message across. Unusual for a Chinese device. And yes, it says on the device, made in China. Here's the control panel. I got the unit with the control panel on the side. They have a different model that has the control panel on the top. Probably doesn't make a difference which way you go. On the left, towards the bottom of the picture, you can see the nipple sticking out for the drain. And just under the control panel, there's a straight arm sticking up. That is the lever for opening the drain so you can empty the tank via the hose they also give you. Here I have 10 albums loaded up on the rod and ready to go. All I have to do is add water to the tank, and she'll be good to go. This is one of the disc separators and label gaskets. When you put a record on, you use these to separate them. There is a rubber gasket. That is the lighter colored circle you see on it there. That seals against the label and appears to keep them dry very well, as you'll see in the next picture. I had no issue with water leaking through onto the label and ruining the label. And here we have a record label. After sitting in the water for about 20 minutes, the gasket appears to keep it nice and dry. And by the way, those gaskets are replaceable, so if they wear or show age or dry out or whatever a gasket can do, they can be replaced. The iSonic was easy enough to set up. Their diagrams, frankly, were a little confusing, but with a little quick check, double checking, it set up easily enough. It comes with the spacers. I got the 10 record set, and that's where it got confusing because I had a hard time figuring out which spindles to use, but again, it ironed itself out real quickly. The unit has a timer that goes up to 15 minutes. It has a degasser, it has a heater, and that appeared to be the biggest difference between a couple of the units. I got the unit with the heater, which is the P4875II plus the MVR, and so far it has worked very well. I gave it a try before putting on the video. The display, as you can see, is easy to read. Off to the left there is a drain. They give you the hose to hook up to it, so you can drain it into a bucket, and you can see the smiley face bucket there, and that's pretty much about the same size as the smile on my face. The only thing I discovered you have to be careful about, and may be able to solve it by tightening down the records a little more, is in trying to tilt them in or out, this bracket over here comes very close to the edge of the records. And I have actually lifted that a little bit to clear it better and putting it in. Other than that, everything else has been flawless. You know, it works well. I'm going to turn it on in a minute so you can see it. They give you a surfactant with it to help with the process. It says use half a cap to a cap. I used a cap in this, and next time I'll use a half cap full. It seemed to be more than enough based on what I see happen with a full cap full. There were a lot of suds with the full cap. So the controls are very simple. They're easy to read. We have the heater. We'll turn on the heater. Actually, we'll degas first. You hit the button, and you get the degassing. We'll turn this on. And the degassing, as you can see, is about 1.5 minutes. Then it stops, and you can start your regular cleaning process. So we'll be back when the degassing's done. They give you a block of acrylic to hold the arm at 45 degrees for draining, and then once you take them off, you should let them dry further, and I will be getting a drying rack and probably just leave them overnight in the future. So there you go. It works very nicely. I will see how it sounds tomorrow. I'm not going to run the records tonight. We'll see how it sounds tomorrow. Some of these were real old and real dirty and very noisy. So we'll see how the improvement is tomorrow. And here we have the records done in a 45-degree draining position. So it works as they promised. I have no complaints about it at this point, even though this is only my first cleaning. Very impressed with it. This will not be the final place for it. You may have noticed it's in my workshop right now, but I was dying to see how it would work. The price on it, I think I paid $6.80 for it on Amazon. I am checking as we speak. It seemed to be a nice compromise between the fancier ones that are up around $1,000 or better, and you know, the ones you got to part out yourself, where you might save $100, but who needs the bother? I just checked. The price was $6.93. With Amazon points, that knocked it down quite a bit. And again, it seemed like a nice compromise between having to piece everything together yourself with some of the crap units I've read things about out there, or the more expensive ones that are supposed to work fairly well, but at the price, I wasn't interested in them. And, you know, it does what it's supposed to do.